私が恋人になれるわけないじゃん。無理無理。無理じゃなかった？
The game is on. Now that everyone's back at their seats, it's time to decide who shall end up winning this tournament arc. But first, Satsuki wants to share something. The story of how her rivalry with Mai came to be. This is pretty confusing for Renako though, as their match literally just started. Nevertheless, Satsuki ignores her, continuing with her monologue. Hearing all this, Mai also can't help but speak up, wondering what in the world she's trying to tell Renako. Satsuki starts to share how it's about the time when Mai was still a small, cute girl. This piques Renako's curiosity, but she tries her best to remain focused on the game in front of her. But as Satsuki continues, she mentions how Mai was as popular then as she is now. However, she was only surrounded by people during school hours, as afterwards was quite different. Back then, Mai was too busy to hang out with anyone. Her hands are tied up with lessons and modeling work. Mai admits her mom enrolled her in a gifted education program, wanting only the best for her development. Satsuki adds that it must have been suffocating, a fact that Mai doesn't deny, even admitting she may have been jealous of other kids. Seeing everyone have fun as she went off to do work was a sad ritual. Satsuki says that explains why Mai had done something so rash, so youthful. This gets Renako on her last legs, struggling to continue her focus. One day, Mai suddenly said that she was free to play. Of course, everyone was happy to have her, but as they all played together, Satsuki could only see how Mai was in a world of her own. Back in the present, Mai is starting to feel a bit embarrassed that Satsuki is actually going to share what happened. Satsuki confirms that she does intend to continue and asks Mai if there's any problem with that. But Mai knows it's a futile effort, knowing Satsuki will just continue no matter what she says. The two share a smile in their understanding of one another, and then it's back to the story. Everyone's gone home after playing, everyone but one. Well, one besides Satsuki. It was she and Mai left staying by the shrine, with Mai looking sad and saying how she can't go home. The mention of a shrine gets Renako interested. Is it perhaps the very same shrine Satsuki had shown her? Renako could no longer handle the curiosity. No longer holding back, she outright asks Satsuki why Mai was crying. Apparently, Mai had skipped her usual after-school plans to play with them. To add fuel to the fire, the plans for that day weren't mere lessons, but a full-on modeling gig. Satsuki supposes it was an inevitability with her patience running thin as a child. Mai adds on, mentioning how she'd been making mistakes at work, gotten scolded, and had even gotten into small fights with her mom. It all just kept adding up until she finally acted out. Renako then asks what Satsuki ended up doing. Naturally, she brought Mai over to her house, an embarrassing affair, as Mai was always a sparkling princess. And just as Renako saw, Satsuki's mom was the same back then as she was when she last saw her. This makes Renako reminisce, remembering how nervous she was when she set foot in Satsuki's abode. Mai cuts in to say how kind Satsuki's mom was, along with Satsuki herself. Satsuki even admits that she was very nervous during that time, wanting to make sure Mai was having a good time at her place. The reason for that is their kinship, as Satsuki herself knows what it's like to be at odds with her own mother, even running off by herself from time to time. The seriousness gets Renako a bit awkward, prompting her to ask what came next. The moment we've all been waiting for, the appearance of Mai's mother. The thought has Renako fearful, wondering how furious she must have looked at the time. But as it turns out, Mai's mom is quite a robotic individual, so much so that the atmosphere was scary even for Satsuki. With a full head of twin tails and no expression on her face, Satsuki was scared of what she faced. Mai recollects how that was also the first time she had seen her mom like that. Perhaps she had felt guilty at the time for pushing her child to that extent. She was never good at showing emotions, and rarely did she have anywhere to express them. Even for Mai, this was quite frightening. Satsuki cuts in to say how guilty Mai must have felt, while also adding in her own feelings back then. Satsuki was genuinely worried that if Mai's mom took her away that time, she'd never be seen again. Mai can only laugh as she brushes the comment off, but Renako can see the truth. Mai blushed, hearing such words of worry from the black-haired Ice Queen. Mai continues with how she felt worried her mom would force her to quit elementary school at the time. Renako then asks what happened next. Thankfully, things didn't go so gloomy as Satsuki actually stepped up and defended Mai from her mother, a moment Mai can look back on with warmth. Standing gallantly in front of Mai, the young Satsuki spoke Mai's truth. Defending her desire to play around, Satsuki pleads with the scary adult in front of her not to hurt the friend she had made, and it's at that moment she made a promise.
Mai doesn't need to go anywhere else. Mai should live with me because I'll always be by her side.
Upon revisiting the memory, a realization seems to click inside Mai's head, causing her to take a look at Renako. Renako is curious about this, but Mai brushes this off and simply professes her love once more, confusing Renako even more. Satsuki continues the story, saying how her mom actually scolded her afterwards since she had no idea what was going on. But Mai went home, and now here they are. Whenever Mai is feeling down, Satsuki is there to bring her back down to earth with harsh words. After all, someone who tries so hard to be an adult shouldn't be crying and screaming every chance they get. On the flip side, Satsuki never stopped acting like a grown-up herself as she continued to compete with the blonde bombshell. Two friends doing things side by side as they should. But this begs the question, why this whole charade? Well, that's because it's all to keep her promise all those years ago, to stand by her side as equals. Mai is in awe of this revelation. Even Renako can understand this much. Mai finally lets out a chuckle as she tells Satsuki she should have said so from the start. With everything that had happened, she had started to worry that Satsuki had actually come to hate her, but Satsuki hasn't changed one bit ever since Mai met her. She's still the kind friend she always was. Renako can only blush in awe of the devotion and love Satsuki has revealed. For her, though, this is simply her fulfilling her obligation. Also, it's embarrassing. Whatever the case, at least we can see Mai glowing with joy from Satsuki's hard work. But the work isn't done just yet. There's still a game going on, and Satsuki is just in the midst of taking advantage of that fact. For a moment, Mai is confused, and in the very next second, she's already dead. It looks like the game's over.
Dumbass! You let your guard down, didn't you?
Mai can only whimper in despair at this horrifying development. Her heart is in shambles. What was all that talk about love and devotion then? Well, in hindsight, if you think about how much Satsuki just loses and loses when she's with Mai, it all just seems like a sick joke. A life of frustration that Satsuki can't help but be annoyed at. Thankfully, Mai's head was so filled with flowers and fluffy thoughts that even she was unable to see it. The plan to get Mai to let her guard down had succeeded. As an added bonus, Satsuki was even able to let out all her pent-up emotions. What a glorious day for the Ice Queen. Not having had enough of Mai's despair, Satsuki pesters her for more details on her suffering. It's all just an adrenaline rush of euphoria that Satsuki can't get enough of. Meanwhile, Renako can't believe the spectacle she's witnessing. She never could have imagined this was what Satsuki meant earlier by breaking Mai's heart. However, it's clear to Renako that all the lovey-dovey things Satsuki had said are likely her true feelings after all. It makes her envious seeing such a tight relationship with the two able to butt their heads with no worries. Not that Renako could survive butting heads with either of these two. Whatever the case, the match isn't over yet, and now it's a one-on-one. Hearing this, Satsuki sits back down robotically while calling out to her opponent.
I love you, Renako. I love you so much it hurts.
A sudden soulless confession, a clear distraction tactic Renako can't believe. What is it that Satsuki likes about her anyway? Posed with the question, Satsuki starts listing all of Renako's bad traits, but then she goes on to say how all those reasons are why Renako is kinder than anyone else she knows. Such an earnest girl, Satsuki can hardly stop herself from being embarrassed around her. The words strike deep. But it matters not for our gamer girl. She sees the shot and fires. Just like that, the game is over. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Renako is now victorious. And what better way to celebrate such a victory than to debrief with your very own cutie, who incidentally is finding it hard to believe Renako actually managed to succeed in her mission for peace. Hang in there, Renako.
私が恋人になれるわけないじゃん。無理無理。無理じゃなかった。
Cheers!
After the exciting back-and-forth tournament arc for peace, now is the time for celebration. The group is all back together, and everything is looking to be happier than it ever was before. First order of business with summer vacation starting. What's everyone doing? In Satsuki's case, it seems she's ready to be so drowned in books that she's even taking them to the bath. And while that sounds irresponsible, Satsuki has every measure in place to ensure no books are harmed in the making of this manga. Hearing this, Renako immediately chirps up about how amazing Satsuki's bathroom truly is. Mai seems to agree with this, knowing the nature of Satsuki's family, but then she goes on and asks the question that rang in everyone's head.
How do you know about that, Renako?
The sleazebag is caught red-handed. Ajisai can't believe what she's just heard. Funny enough, Renako doesn't even fully grasp the problem with sleeping around. Kaho, meanwhile, is glowing with excited curiosity. Satsuki quickly shuts her down though, saying how Renako simply stayed over to spend some time with her. No biggie at all, despite the long faces of the women at the table. But what is there to be shocked about? It's just a friend inviting another friend over, after all. That's right, the time of Renako and Satsuki being lovers is over at last. It was tough, but Satsuki was quite cute, acting like a housewife. The dreamlike time of being lovers is over, and Renako is just a bit sad. Scratch that, as it turns out, she's very sad. Actually, Renako is just feeling touched that Satsuki calls her a friend. The sudden tears startle everyone around her, Satsuki included, but Renako is simply overwhelmed with finally being considered a friend after all they've been through. Satsuki is utterly confused by this overly emotional reaction. Seeing Renako so emotional, both Kaho and Ajisai chime in, declaring their earnest friendship and drowning Renako in the afterglow. Renako can hardly take the bliss she's experiencing. Once again, Satsuki is low-key disgusted by what she sees before her. With slightly teared-up eyes, Renako contemplates how amazing it is for Satsuki to declare her as a friend, despite how icy cold her glare is. Sitting on the side, Mai is enjoying the funny sight of Renako with a loving smile on her face. She expresses her admiration for her love, a preference Satsuki says she could never understand. Mai retorts she's always loved the same simple things, the beautiful things in life. This confuses Satsuki further, as the Renako they're looking at is covered in tears and snot, but Mai can only reconfirm.
Beautiful, isn't she?
Suddenly, a pocket tissue is presented to the snot-covered girl. It was her, Satsuki. Renako is astonished at the gentleness of her new friend. In response to this, Satsuki simply says her unsightly appearance was drawing attention, humbling the glowing girl. But the parade isn't over yet, as in comes Kaho and Ajisai with their own tissues. Renako has never been happier to receive such gifts as she cries tears of joy. The increasing ridiculousness of the situation then prompts Satsuki to finally ask why they've actually gathered here today. If they are just here to celebrate Satsuki's return, she can only think of how utterly silly that would be. Seeing the chance to tease her, Mai says it would be best if they hold a meeting every time Satsuki either leaves or returns. Perhaps she should even leave and return every week, since the celebrations are so fun and all. Then all of a sudden, a surprise gift attack. For a moment, Satsuki is confused, but Mai quickly reveals the mystery with a greeting.
Happy birthday, Satsuki.
Satsuki admits she's been so busy that it completely left her mind, and for now, while for only a short time, Satsuki is the older of the two buddies. A fact Satsuki doesn't take much pride in, as it's quite unproductive to flaunt being older in age. Following suit, Ajisai also presents her angelic gift. Right after her is Renako, still feeling the buzz of being considered a friend, much to Satsuki's annoyance. And right after that, Kaho swoops in with her own gift. As such, the mystery of today's meeting is fully revealed. Good thing Renako managed to pull off the peace talks before today came along. Taking in the sweetness of the moment, Satsuki earnestly thanks everyone with a gentle smile on her face, so much so that Kaho, being as giddy as ever, can't help but want to take a photo. As Satsuki fights for her photo privacy, Renako is sitting with fluffy thoughts in her head, finally reaching the peace and joy that is friendship. Mai tells Satsuki that this time, they have plenty of friends around them. Now Satsuki is truly no longer alone. The two share a smile at the realization, and things couldn't look any more friendly between them. A sight that Renako can only enjoy looking at. But then, Satsuki says she has something of her own to give Mai. With a dumb-looking smile as always, Mai takes guesses at what it could be, perhaps a trophy. She'd like one of those. Never in a million years would she think that the tiny piece of paper Satsuki hands to her is the test results.
Take a good look at it.
Mai is shocked to her core. She had spent so much time training for the gaming tournament they had on, while Satsuki was truly giving her all. For the first time in their long-drawn rivalry, Satsuki has defeated Mai Ozuka. Looking the happiest she's ever been, the black-haired Ice Queen lets out a cute and triumphant giggle at the sulking she's about to witness. Back home, at an undisclosed amount of time later, Rinako is basking in the warmth of her gifted pocket tissues. Meanwhile, her little sister is none the wiser.
私が恋人になれるわけないじゃん。無理無理。無理じゃなかった。
After the great birthday and return celebration, Satsuki finds herself embarking on another mission. It's calling time with Kaho, and she's wearing cat pajamas to boot. Satsuki seems to want to say something, but Kaho is cool with it. She doesn't have much time. That's fine though, because she just wanted to thank Kaho for the present. It was a lovely book jacket after all. Of course, the sudden gratitude from the Ice Queen has Kaho shocked. Kaho starts turning on her girl's love senses, but Satsuki isn't having any of it, dropping the call. Next up, Ajisai. What did she gift, you may ask? Personal care products, and with a lovely smell too. Apparently, the scent is even calming, something Ajisai thought would suit her well. The yapping went on, but Satsuki was actually quite happy hearing such thoughtfulness put into her gift. Ajisai then apologizes for the yap session, and the two say their goodbyes happily. Looking at the hairbrush on her desk, it's time for the troublesome one. Mai Ozuka. Considering how salty she must be feeling, Satsuki decides to just message her. Mai quickly responds with a courteous message, asking for no return gift. Of course, Satsuki can't just abide by that, as she does have a warm heart deep inside. Anyway, on to the final spectacle. It's her, Renako. Satsuki starts off all formal, and Renako obliges, acting as if she's providing customer service. A horrible career choice for the social loser.
Thank you for the bath salts. I love them.
Eh? While shocked, Renako quickly regains composure, channeling the pride she gained after being promoted to friend. Funny enough, this prideful tone actually has Satsuki annoyed. She takes this chance to tease Renako, as a result, suggesting that Renako was hoping for another lewd bath together. Renako could only scream in denial through the phone, with Satsuki laughing with a happy smile now that she's not alone.
私が恋人になれるわけないじゃん。無理無理。無理じゃなかった。
Sometime after Satsuki dunked on Mai, Mai finds herself yapping about needing to be comforted right in the comfort of Renako's oblivious shoulders. It's now the first day of summer vacation, and Renako is spending it here in Mai's house. But what else can a friend and lover expect? Mai has just lost not only to Renako in gaming, but to Satsuki too in the exam scores. Despite all that, Renako finds it all hard to understand, as Mai had constantly won against Renako in previous battles anyway. However, in Mai's point of view, that's simply not true at all, as she had also lost in making Renako her lover. With how the situation's looking, Renako is feeling pretty guilty right about now. Mai then reveals that even if she had won the game, she wasn't planning to force Renako into marriage. Renako is shocked by this, but it does make a lot of sense. We aren't in ancient times, it's the 21st century, and Mai intends to make Renako fall in love with her willingly. Nevertheless, Mai did still try her best at the game. It's simply in her nature after all. Also, it would be outright rude not to take it seriously. Whatever the case though, it is a fact that Mai did lose, and so she is still very bummed out right now. According to the rule of hairdo, Mai is in lover mode, so despite Reinako's apprehension to spoil Mai, it is only fair considering how much attention she'd given Satsuki lately. Channeling her inner tsundere, Reinako decides to oblige Mai's inner desires.
Lap pillow.
Eh?
Renako makes an uncharacteristic proposal to the usually touchy Mai, the dream of every hopeless romantic out there. That's why it's all the more confusing for Renako that Mai is unresponsive to the offer. The lap pillow is also something she's done with her sister, so it's a way more comfortable affair than anything else she could offer. Meanwhile, inside her head, the voice of middle school past is trying to convince her to offer a kiss instead. A significantly more lewd act that Renako simply can't allow. For now, she's not that kind of woman, she's just a lap pillow type of gal. Mai is still not sold, but Renako is no longer negotiating. She proceeds to grab Mai and forcefully initiate lap pillow mode. Surprisingly, even Mai bothers to comment on her being rough. It can't be helped though. Given the situation, Mai should learn to rely on others like this. But even after hearing this, Mai puts on a pouting face, still unable to accept the situation for some reason. On Renako's side, while this is a little embarrassing, considering everything that's happened, she's actually pretty okay with all this. She goes on to say what she wants to convey to her distressed friend on her lap. It's okay to lose. That's the way it's supposed to be. Mai is always working so hard. A stumble here and there is natural. Suddenly, a groan escapes Mai's mouth. For the first time, the feeling of embarrassment wells up within her. Renako, though, finds this strange, seeing as how Mai is constantly praised by others. Mai can only say that all that is just expected, given her talent and hard work. Embarrassment isn't normally needed. Somehow, Renako easily gets this. Satsuki may be spoiled, but thoroughly. Turning on mommy mode, Renako makes sure to let Mai know she's here to give her all the earnest praise she could need. Following through, she even calls Mai a good girl. The hard-hitting attack that gets Mai blushing like crazy. Renako can't help but feel like she's letting an angel fall from heaven. Continuing to pat Mai's head, she reaffirms to herself that this is exactly what Mai needs, especially now that the whole drama with Satsuki has by, and she was forced to watch her lover go out with her own friend. Speaking of, it was all because of Mai that Renako and Satsuki became true friends in the first place. Despite Mai not exactly planning for it, she's glad that Renako is so happy about it. The sudden humble showing has Renako in shock. Life would be way easier if Mai were always acting this way. This gets Renako to prompt the question, though, would Renako be happier if she were indeed more humble? Renako gives it a think, but quickly and confidently says no. Mai should be how she's always been. She should get mad when she wants to, she should laugh when she wants to, and she should also be sad when she wants to. After all, that's what Mai Renako likes the most. That's the Mai Renako I want to stay friends with. Of course, Renako doesn't actually say that second bit out loud, so Mai falls in love with her all over again. Renako then activates annoyed mode. She fervently tells Mai that her love is only as a friend. Mai's used to this charade though. Renako is free to think of her as a friend, and Mai is free to think of Renako as her lover. Now that Renako thinks about it, this is a pretty unfair arrangement. All of a sudden though, Mai rises like the living dead.
How many times did you and Satsuki kiss?
Renako is unable to answer immediately, knowing the answer is a lethal one. Recounting all her sleazy memories, she arrives at number 3. The answer is, of course, horrifying to Mai. In only 2 weeks, is Renako really that lewd?
There's a misunderstanding!
Renako pleads as Mai slowly closes in. She does have a point though, as Satsuki was the one who initiated the kisses. Just as Renako tells herself she isn't a lewd woman, the two of them share an intimate kiss. Mai then separates, calling back to what Renako had said earlier about accepting the way she truly is. Doesn't that give the green light to her expressing her lewd desires? Pathetically, Renako starts trying to sway Mai's mind, telling her it would be too much for her, even as a friend, to take it all at once. With a heroic smile, Mai earnestly says she'd never do anything to hurt her. And then she goes in for a kiss again, but now, she also pushes Renako down for good measure. The kiss is deep, and Renako can hardly take it. Mai separates, admiring her bushed handiwork. Smoke literally escapes from Renako's head. Renako then proceeds to say, with what voice she has left, that she's actually okay with this as long as Mai stays gentle. Seeing Renako beg so adorably, Mai starts to tease her, asking if she's challenging her self-control, something Renako, of course, is sure as hell not doing. Mai then gently takes in Renako's face with her hands.
Good grief. You're not playing fair.
They proceed to kiss intensely, passionately, so passionately. In fact, they even get their tongues involved. an act which Renako actually doesn't mind, after continuing their intimate dance, Mai eventually separates once again. She declares that they've finally kissed 3 times, making up for all the times she had done it with Satsuki. Mai then proceeds to declare her love and asks Renako to make this summer vacation as fun as possible. Renako can only meekly agree. In her mind, she now truly understands that Mai sees Satsuki as a rival just as much as Satsuki does. That's fine though, it's not like Renako will ever become someone else's lover again, but even this self-proclamation has her mind twisted. It's not just with someone else, it's with anyone at all, Mai included. Her chest thumping, her nights turning sleepless, she just can't have all that.
Let's have a lot of fun this summer vacation. As friends.
And so, the battle of the 3 girls has finally ended, and things got lively once again in a much spicier way. At another time through chat, Satsuki seemingly has something to say to our poor Renako. Not that we know what it is. Well, at least she properly expressed her thanks.
That was delicious. I'm gonna go pee real quick.
Okay.
I gotta recharge my mana points.
Oh, how I love you, Renako.
You're blocking my recharge! You never get mad, do you, Ajisai-san? That's so not true. What would you do if I totally messed up your hair, right now? I'd figure you must be having an awful day and taking it out on me. See? What would it take to get you mad? Where's your exposed nerve? If you took forever to get in the bath. Or if at 9 p.m. you suddenly told me you needed the cardboard tube from the cling wrap for an art project the next day. Being a big sister sure is rough.
私が恋人になれるわけないじゃん。無理無理。無理じゃなかった？
Did that leave you hanging? Check out our other works here, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe.